The 2019 Australian Open is upon us. Increased prize money, Andy Murray's impending retirement and Alex de Miñaur's potential are some of the hot topics at the moment. But first, let's take a look at which men's singles matches you cannot miss. Honorable mention. Naturally, it'll be interesting to monitor his progress. Is Nadal fit enough to be a contender? What about the slightly modified serve motion he unveiled in Abu Dhabi? Meanwhile, big shout out to Duckworth, who seems to have overcome his injury woes, for slowly building his ranking back. The 26-year-old, currently sitting at world number 238, battled his way through the Australian Open playoff for the second time in his career. Watchability Index, 0.6, so draw. Please give me a break. This category includes high-profile matchups for a round of 128, although lacking a notable storyline. WC Joe Wilfried Tsonga vs Martin Klizan, tricky opener for Tsonga, who has always performed well in Australia. Following an injury-marred 2018 campaign, the Frenchman left a strong impression in Brisbane, where he reached the semis. Klizan emerged victorious in their only previous meeting, a four-setter at the 2012 US Open. Watchability Index, 0.7. Wouldn't it be cool if they went the distance like in the 2010 edition and Bernie replicated the underhand, between the legs serve he showcased against Nick Kyrgios in Kooyong? Sign me up. Watchability Index, 0.9. And it's hard to blame him for losing in the 2017 round of 32. The Czech was upended by an unstoppable force called Roger Federer 6-2, 6-4, 6-4. For his part, Edmund enjoyed a magnificent semi-final run last year. Stakes are high for both. Watchability Index, 0.8. Nobody believes in us. In this section we list several men who are slumping at the wrong time. Last season, he backed up his impressive showing with a promising Indian Wells semis. Physical issues forced him to miss some time afterward, but still, he failed to win a set both in Pune, L. Tagulba 7-6, 6-2, and in Auckland, L. to number 373 Jose Ruben Statham. Wake up, mate. Former Stanford standout Klon is no slouch at all. Watchability Index, 0.6. Dating back to October, the talented Frenchman is riding a four-match skid, 7 if we include the Hopman Cup. Furthermore, the 24-year-old is winless in 5 Australian Open singles main draw appearances. Coach Amelie Mauresmo needs to work her magic to turn things around. Watchability Index, 0.5. A straight sets loss to Pierre-Hugues Herbert in Doha couldn't be less encouraging. A first-round clash against the unpredictable pair sounds like fun, doesn't it? Watchability Index, 0.8. Francis Tiafoe vs Q Prajnesh Gunneswaran. Last time I checked, drinking age in Australia was 18. Hence, Mr. Tiafoe, born January 20, 1998, is legally allowed to hold both Mr. Pui and Mr. Chung's beers, whenever they start arguing about their worrisome slumps at the players' party. Including the 2018 Next Gen Finals and the 2019 Hopman Cup, Tiafoe has dropped his last 6 matches. If we expand the search until the US Open, the American stands at a putrid 4 wins and 14 losses. On the other side of the net, first-time qualifier Gunneswaran is currently playing the best tennis of his life. The 29-year-old doesn't boast an impressive resume, but he did manage to beat Denis Shapovalov in Stuttgart last year. Watchability Index, 0.7. Quartet of Death. Remember when the World Cup draw comes out and there is a disproportionately stacked foursome dubbed the Group of Death? Well, this section of the Australian Open draw is the equivalent. Stan Wawrinka vs Ernest Gulbis. Nick Kyrgios vs. Due to diverse circumstances, their rankings have regressed lately. Nevertheless, according to Tennis Abstract's ELO ratings, Ronick, no. 16, Kyrgios, 17, and Wawrinka, 22, are still top 25 caliber players, and a motivated Gulbis can play toe-to-toe against anybody. If Kyrgios and Gulbis, the two mercurial individuals of the four, wake up on the right foot on Tuesday, we are in for some thrilling tennis. Combined Watchability Index, 10 out of 10. Deja vu? 195, and received the Asian wild card. After a routine 6-2, 6-3, 6-3 victory, the Swiss star would go on and win his second Australian Open. Will history repeat itself? On the other hand, in 2017, Estoman earned a fair share of headlines after his stunning win over Novak Djokovic. Will the hard-hitting Uzbek pull another gargantuan upset? Watchability Index, 8/10. Keep getting them checks. Arguably the writer's favorite passage, featuring protected ranking users, usually over-the-hill veterans whose current abilities lag far behind their skills in their prime. Friendly reminder that a singles first-round loss at the 2019 Australian Open comes with a juicy $75,000 check. Steve Darcy vs. Despite his dismal 0-4 record in Melbourne, a fringe top 10 talent like Djokovic should breeze through the opener. Watchability Index, 7/10. Janko Tipsarevic vs. Not a good sign. While Dimitrov keeps on tormenting his fans with subpar results after flirting with greatness, it would be shocking if Tipsarevic can keep up with his rhythm following a 17-month absence. For what it's worth, the Serbian holds a commanding 4-1 head-to-head advantage. Watchability Index, 8/10. The good old challenger rivalry for the umpteenth time in this decade, tennis should have a unified, head-to-head record. Here's a prime example why. Yet, if you dig a little deeper, you can easily discover a somewhat interesting rivalry. Including Grand Slam qualifying draws and the Challenger Tour, Secchinato and Krajinovic have split their 6 previous meetings. Watchability Index, 7/10. Poisonous qualifiers versus vulnerable seeds. Fearless up-and-comers with 3 wins under their belt jeopardize the singles aspirations of several established players. Q. Christopher Eubanks vs. The Georgia Tech product, Eubanks, can tear the ball apart, but so does the Georgia native Basilashvili. Under the scorching sun, the lanky American should get plenty of free service points. Will that suffice against a 2-time ATP 500 winner? Don't rule it out. Watchability Index, 9/10. Miomir Kekmanovic vs. It's easy to overlook the other 41 times he reached the final set in a major, per Tennis Abstract. The Spaniard's mental lapses are well known, and he's facing a rock-solid Serbian whose arrow is on the upswing. The 19-year-old is extremely underranked, 126, according to the ELO ratings, 66. If you crave drama, this is your match. Watchability Index, 9/10. Q. Rudolf Molliker vs. The 18-year-old German has never beaten a player of Schwartzman status, because the July 2018 version of David Ferrer doesn't count, sorry. It's hard to envision the youngster outgrinding the Argentinian over 5 sets. Watchability Index, 5/10. Farewell Sir Murray. Andy Murray vs. You can read thorough Murray tributes by my peers at Last Word on Tennis here and here. The Dunblane native, a 5-time finalist at the Australian Open, was dealt a complicated debut against Bautista, who edged Wawrinka, Djokovic and Berdych en route to the Doha Crown. May the hip miraculously heal. Watchability Index, 10 out of 10. Gunslinger Nation applicable to confrontations between two serving juggernauts. Aces for days. Raonic vs. Kyrgios, listed above, would also belong here. Watchability Index, 8/10. Main photo.